begin constructing the Wren cardigan, place the front and back bodice right sides together. Pin or clip along the shoulder seams. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Now we need to find the middle of our sleeve. Fold the sleeve in half and place a pin at the middle of the sleeve. Repeat this with the opposite sleeve. To add your sleeve to your bodice, place the sleeve right sides together with the bodice, matching the pin to the shoulder seam of the bodice. Pin or clip along the arm side and repeat this process with the opposite sleeve. Sew or serge to complete this seam. To complete the side seam of our bodice, we need to place our bodice right sides together. Pin or clip along the raw edges starting at the seam. Repeat this process with the opposite side of your bodice. Sew or serge along this seam. To construct a simple cuff, fold your cuff in half right sides together. Pin or clip along the raw edges of the long side of your cuff. Repeat this process with your remaining cuff and sew or serge to complete this seam. To construct the thumbhole cuffs, place pins using the markings indicated on the pattern piece. I used white in the middle, red on one side, and blue on the other. To begin, we will fold our cuff in half right sides together. We will use the white pins only at this time. Sew between the white pins using a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch. Rotate the cuff so that the stage 1 stitching is towards the middle. To begin stage 2, we will choose one side of the cuff. I'm going to begin on the side with the blue pins. Bring the raw edges together, and for this stage 2 stitching, we will sew between the blue pin and the stitching of stage 1. Make sure to add a pin where the stitching of stage 1 ends. Sew between the two pins using a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch. Rotate the cuff so that you can see the remaining side. This side is marked with red pins. Repeat the process we just used on the other side by bringing the raw edges together. Place a pin to mark where the stage 1 stitching ends, and sew between the pins using a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch. To complete the thumbhole cuff, rotate your cuff to find the remaining raw edges. Bring the raw edges together and place a pin at the end of the stage 2 stitching. Sew from the top of the raw edge to the pin on each side of the cuff. Turn the cuff right side out and you will find, if you've followed along, that you have a fabulous thumbhole cuff. If you are using a bishop sleeve, make sure to place a gathering stitch along the raw edge of the sleeve. Find the middle of your sleeve and place a pin. Adjust your gathering stitches so that your sleeve is the same width as your cuff. Mark the middle of your cuff with a pin. Place your sleeve inside your cuff, raw edges together. Match the seam of your sleeve to the seam of your cuff, and match the pins on the middle of your sleeve and cuff together. Continue to pin around the cuff. Repeat this entire process with your remaining sleeve. Sew or serge around the cuff to complete this seam. The first thing to do for construction of the skirted waistband is to fold one of the waistband pieces towards the wrong side of the fabric by 1/2 inch. Pin the waistband to secure and repeat with the opposite side of your waistband. Place your waistband pieces wrong sides together and mark the middle of your waistband with a pin. To add the waistband to your bodice, find the middle of your back bodice and mark with a pin. Place your waistband right sides together with your bodice. The folded edge of the waistband should be facing the bodice. Begin pinning at the middle pin. Continue pinning along the raw edge. Sew or serge to complete this seam. To construct your patch pockets, fold the patch pocket band in half wrong sides together. Press the band. Place the band right sides together on the pocket with the raw edges touching. Pin or clip along this seam. Repeat this process with the remaining pocket. Sew or serge along the seam. Fold the 3 remaining raw edges a 1/4 inch towards the wrong side of the fabric and press. To place the patch pocket on your skirt, measure 1.5 to 2 inches from the inside edge of the skirt and place a pin. Measure 1.5 to 2 inches from the top side of your skirt and place a pin. Place the patch pocket at these indicating pins. Pin the patch pocket to your skirt. Repeat this process with the remaining patch pocket. Top stitch the patch pocket to your skirt along the side and bottom edges. To construct your skirt, place the front skirt pieces right sides together with the back skirt piece. Pin or clip along the sides. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place the inseam pocket right sides together with the front skirt on the outside edge of the skirt, using the markings indicated in the pattern. Repeat this process with the remaining inseam pocket. Pin or clip the pockets to the skirt. Repeat this process with the back skirt. Place the inseam pockets right sides together with the back skirt. Pin or clip the inseam pockets to the skirt. Sew or serge to complete these seams using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Fold the inseam pockets right sides facing out. Place the front skirt pieces right sides together with the back skirt pieces. Pin or clip along the raw edges of the skirt and the inseam pocket. Sew or serge to complete this seam. To attach the skirt to the waistband, find the middle of the back skirt. And of course, look who came out to play while I was making my videos. It's my beautiful kitty named Kitty. He is a baby Bengal. Place your skirt right sides together with your waistband. Pin or clip along the raw edges. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your button tab pieces right sides together. Pin or clip along both sides and the bottom edge. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Turn your button tab right sides out. Place the button tab on the wrong side of the skirt at the seam, raw edges together. Pin the button tab to secure. If you want, you can baste the bottom edge. Fold the hemband in half, wrong sides together, and press. Find the middle of the hemband and mark with a pin. Find the middle of the back skirt and mark with a pin. Place the hemband right sides together with the skirt, starting at the middle pins. Continue pinning the hemband to the skirt, stretching as you go. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Fold the button tab towards the right side of the skirt. Figure out where you'd like the button tab to go, place a pin to secure, and top stitch along the button tab. Fold the crop waistband in half, wrong sides together, and press. Make a nice crease down the center of the waistband because you're going to use this in a moment. Open the short end of the waistband. At the center crease, measure over 3/8 of an inch and place a pin to mark. Repeat this process on the remaining short end of the waistband. Snip the middle of the waistband at the crease up to the pins that we just placed. Do this on both short ends of the waistband. Next, we will fold one side of the snipped waistband towards the wrong side of the fabric. You can choose to fold the bottom or the top of the waistband, it doesn't matter, but make sure that it's the same side on both ends of the waistband. Fold the waistband piece towards the wrong side of the fabric, up to the snip, and place a pin to secure. Top stitch both folded edges. To attach the waistband, find the middle of the back bodice. Place a pin to mark. Also place a pin at the middle of the waistband. Place the waistband right sides together with your bodice. The folded edge of the waistband should be facing your bodice. Start by matching the middle pins and then continue to pin or clip along the edge. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your hood pieces right sides together. Pin or clip along the curved edge and sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your hood, main, and lining fabric right sides together. Pin or clip along the curved edge and sew or serge to complete this seam. Turn your hood main fabric right sides out and place this over the lining fabric. To attach the hood, Find the middle of the back neckline and place a pin. Place the seam at the back of the hood to the back neck pin, right sides together. Continue to pin or clip the hood to the neckline. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your neckband right sides together and pin or clip along one short side. Sew or serge to complete this seam to create one continuous neckband. Fold the end of your neckband right sides together and place a pin or a clip. Repeat this process with the remaining side of your neckband. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Fold the ends right side out and press your neckband. Pin or clip the neckband to your cardigan right sides together. Start by placing the seam of the neckband at the seam of the hood. Continue to pin or clip, stretching as you go. Make sure that when you clip the neckband to your waistband, you do not catch the folded edge. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your neckband right sides together and pin or clip along one short side. Sew or serge to complete this seam to create one continuous neckband. Fold the end of your neckband right sides together and place a pin or a clip. Repeat this process with the remaining side of your neckband. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Fold the ends right side out and press your neckband. To attach the neckband, find the middle of your back neck and mark with a pin. Place the neckband right sides together with your bodice, beginning with the seam of the neckband and the back neck pin. Be sure when pinning the neckband to your bodice that you do not catch the folded edge of your waistband. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Place your ties right sides together and pin or clip along one short side. Sew or serge to complete this seam to create one continuous tie. Fold your tie in half right sides together and pin or clip along the edge. Sew or serge to complete this seam. Using your favorite tool, turn your tie right sides out. Feed the tie through your waistband casing. If you want to make sure that your tie will not slide out, place some stitches at the middle of the back waist. To create a cinched waist with your cardigan without the need to tie your ties, simply pull the tie out a little bit on one side, create a loop, and tie the loop over itself. Repeat this process on the opposite side. I hope this video helped you construct the fabulous Wren pattern, and thanks for sewing along.